There is a supernatural world that surrounds us, and sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. You'll hear stories about this and so much more right here on Supernatural Confrontations. Have you ever wondered why we age? Not just because of the years that go by, but why do we visibly age? The big factor is a protein called collagen, or should I say the lack of it. Pay close attention, folks. Many studies have discovered that our collagen levels decrease 10% every decade. Think of collagen as the glue that holds us together. The less you have, the more visible your signs of aging may be. You don't know it yet, but in the next minute, you're going to learn how to help reduce these visible signs of aging. After years of searching, I found the closest thing we may have to the fountain of youth. Folks, I take it every day. It's called collagen. And it helps rejuvenate my skin from inside out by supplying it with the 5 specific types of collagen my body desperately needs. By boosting your collagen intake, you'll help restore your skin's elasticity while reducing the appearance of wrinkles. Stop and ask yourself where you'll be in 1 year if you don't start taking this amazing substance called collagen right now. Folks, you can try it risk-free for 60 days simply by going to healthwithla.com. That's healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com, or by clicking the link below. This is a time-sensitive offer, so please check it out. After entering your details, you'll receive your collagen delivered right to your doorstep in a few short days. Folks, 60-day money-back guarantee. The healthy aging supportive collagen in ideal forms. 5 key types of collagen you need from 4 different sources. Folks, it's the way to go. I take it every day, and I think it's helped me. I just love this story, and Res ipsa loquitur, we'll let the thing speak for itself. It's a great interview, and when people encounter the angelic and get a glimpse of Jesus, it's visceral. It's something that lasts with you all the days of your life. You know, when I was at conferences and I would start talking about Revelation 19, I'd have to turn my back to the audience because I would just start bawling like a baby. Tim Alberino did the same thing. He just started reading scripture and he just started bawling because some of those scriptures are in us. They're visceral. They are, in fact, who we are. Anyway, here's the interview. I'll weigh in on the other side. So you had a supernatural confrontation, a supernatural encounter. Tell us about that, please.
Yes. My husband and I, we were going through some issues back in 2014. And I had been, prior to that, I had been in a very, very abusive relationship. And this was in my mid-20s. And I ended up in a coma due to a really bad relationship. It was a very abusive relationship. And so I had suffered a traumatic head injury. And the doctors had told me that, you know, if I had been in any other accident, you know, I could probably go in a coma and never wake up. So years went by, and my husband and I got married in 2003. And about 6 or 8 years later, we ended up having some issues and I moved out. And so I got a job and was working as a nurse. And I started having severe migraines and they just would not go away. And a few months later, we worked things out and got back together. And we were in a car and on our way to put tires on my car. And it was pouring rain and my car hydroplaned.
Whoa.
And I was in the passenger side, he was in the driver's side, and we hit a pole on my side, and the car slid down the pole, and I was knocked out. My husband was knocked out. And after that, the migraines just progressively got worse and got worse and got worse. And so I had gone to work and I just couldn't function. The pain was so severe. And so I told the charge nurse, that I was just in severe pain and I couldn't handle it. She took my blood pressure. It was outrageous. And she said, Jonine, you need to go home. And I said, I won't make it. And she said, well, you need to go home. So I left and I don't remember getting in my car. I don't remember going into the garage and going in to the bedroom. And so I laid down on the bed. I remember that. And all of a sudden, this pain hit me. And then I heard this voice right on the right side of my head. And the voice said, Jonine, I'm going to take you through the atmosphere. And don't be afraid. You're going to hear what sounds like trumpets. And he said, that is the stars. And then he said, don't be afraid. And then as soon as he said, don't be afraid again, I saw the ceiling of my bedroom open up. And then I seen all the stars, and then we went up. And I could actually feel the air going, past me. And so all of a sudden, he's got me under the arms and he sets me down and we go through this pearl. It was a massive, massive pearl. I mean, probably as big as the sun, but I could see that it was a pearl. And then, sorry, my clock. And then it was just massive. And we went through it. And when we went through it, I looked and I saw Jesus and he turned around and looked at me. Sorry. And just seeing him was so amazing. Like, it was just so amazing. And I fell down on my face and began to sob.
Wow.
And he walked over to me and he said, Jonine, why are you here? And I said, I don't know, but I could not look up, LA. I could not look up. And he lifted me up and he said, don't be afraid. You're going to be all right. And then he took and touched my face. And when he touched my face, my tears went into his arm. There was a place on his wrist. And my tears went into his arm and it looked like honey. And just seeing him, LA, absolutely changed my life. I mean, my life did a complete turnaround after that encounter. I mean, I still have headaches, that's just part of my body, the part of the massive trauma that I've gone through. But my life has absolutely been changed. My heart has been changed.
So let me ask you this. What did he look like?
He was beautiful. There was a rainbow around him, LA, and his hair was snow white. His eyes, it was the color of honey. And when he looked at me, I can't even begin to explain to you how beautiful he was. He was almost transparent, glowing. He was just glowing. And I guess his glorified body, but he was glowing, LA.
So how did you return? Do you remember that?
I woke up.
Wow.
I woke up and I called my husband immediately and he came straight over and he took me to lunch and I could not stop crying. I just couldn't. Every time I talk about it, LA, I can't stop crying.
Yeah, I understand what that's like. I get it.
Absolutely changed my heart. There is nothing like Jesus. There's nothing. He's so wonderful.
What was the place you were in when you saw him? What was that like?
It was almost like a big hall There was people when I came through the Pearl, there was people over to my right and he was over to my left, and but I was even with him and he turned around and looked at me. He
What?
was talking to these people, but the amazing thing, LA, I knew all those people.
Really?
I knew who they were.
Wow.
It was like everything that I was seeing, I was getting a download of everything because it was familiar. Everything was familiar. And Jesus too. I mean, I knew that I knew him.
Right.
And I knew that he knew me, but I knew that I was unworthy.
That's unbelievable.
That's what was so amazing.
What was he wearing? What was he wearing? Do you remember?
He was wearing a pullover white robe.
Wow. And when he spoke to you, was it telepathic or was it voice to voice, voice to head?
He was speaking to me.
Okay, like I'm speaking to you now.
Yes, he was speaking to me. And he touched my face. And when he touched my face, my tears went into his wrist right here. And it looked like honey. And then he told me, he said, Jonine, where is your compassion? In LA, I promise you, I had no compassion about me before then, because I was bitter because I had been in so many bad relationships and been abused for so many years. But my husband, I didn't get it through my head how good of a husband that I have now. And I was not accepted to him. I had not opened up my heart to him. But after he touched me, everything changed. I found love in my heart. And I wanted him to sit here and tell you about that. But he's not well, so he went to take a shower. But he will tell you that everything about me changed after that encounter.
Thank you so much for coming on the record. I'll give you the last word. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. Your closing thoughts?
That the most important thing in our lives is to know Jesus, and whatever it takes to ask him to show you himself, and he will. He absolutely will. If you have an open heart and willing to listen, he will speak to you.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on the record. God bless you.
God bless you, LA.
Gotta love stories like this. If you have a story like this, please shoot us an email, supernatural@lamarzulli.net, supernatural@lamarzulli.net. Our producer of the show, John Adam Hicks, will be getting back to you momentarily. All we need is one. Remember, we only do 2 shows a week, Mondays and Fridays, so we got bookends here. And then tomorrow will be On the Trail of the Nephilim. Wednesday is UFO update, and of course Thursday, Questions with LA. And then Friday, once again, Supernatural Confrontation. So it might take us a while to get to you, but I promise you we will, in fact, get to you. In fact, today at 4 o'clock here out on the left coast, I've got an interview, a Zoom interview with someone, and we'll see where all that goes. In fact, as soon as I get done this, I will send them the invite. Our Christmas store is just blowing up. We had a snag with the post office. This is not an excuse. We've been doing this for years. All of a sudden, Peggy takes the stuff, all the shipping stuff, and they go, oh no, you can't send this anymore. You have to send it media mail. What? I mean, just like out of the blue, they threw her a curve. So anyway, we're doing the best we can, folks. We're doing the best we can. Also, we are moving our entire shipping area, all of our product out to California. We're renting warehouse space out there. If you want to donate to that, that would really be great. We could use some help. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. I'll be back here tomorrow with another show entitled On the Trail of the Nephilim. Something very dark and disturbing is happening. It is a global phenomenon that knows no boundaries and adheres to no cultural mores. And the ones who are engaged in this nefarious activity do so with impunity. People are being taken against their will. In the cover of darkness, in the dead of night, they are subjected to bizarre examinations that are often sexual in nature. These people are terrified, violated, confused, and with no place to turn to, as who would believe them? This is their story.